If you are playing by white, you can use this trap, white trap. I'm going to discuss with you in this video about white trap 1. The game starts like this: e4. To block this pawn, black moves e5. White moves with e4. Black doesn't want to lose any opportunity to capture white pawn. So black moves e into d4. White moves bishop c4, aiming for Fullschmidt. To prevent that, say if this move is followed by the move q f3, later q into f7 mate. To prevent that, black moves and f6. The move nf6 has created a threat on the pawn e4, so white moves e5. Now this square is not under control of white, so and more than that, any piece which comes to the center becomes more powerful. That's why black moves and e4. To support the e5 pawn, white moves and f3. For the black moves bishop b4 check. White moves c3 to block bishop. Black moves d into c3. So if this move is not counteracted, next move should be c2 by black. So check from the bishop and attack to the queen from the pawn c2. So white will easily lose the queen. To prevent that, white moves b into c3. Of course, n into c3, nb into c3 possible. For that, white could have moved b into c3. I will show you. See, this attacks both king and rook. For that, the move could have been bishop d2 to protect king, and if black want to gain 2 pawns up, it can capture bishop into rook and queen into bishop. This was possible, but black has entirely different plan. For this move c3, black moves bishop c5. So let's say knight makes a move na3. For that, black makes the move n into f2, fork between queen as well as rook. White goes for castling, black knight into queen, so there's a check here from the bishop, black bishop. So king moves to a safe square, kh1. There's no way bishop can continue attacking. So black takes the bishop back. Bishop f8. For that, white moves and d4 to attack the knight. Black moves c5. Now the beauty of this trap: bishop into f7 check. King is forcefully moving down, that is ke7. For that, see, this king cannot capture the bishop. You know why? It is supported by the rook. So when the king moves down to ke7, white moves bishop g5 mate. See, king cannot come here because bishop is there. King cannot come here because bishop is there. King cannot move here, pawn is there. King cannot move here because bishop is there as well as pawn is there. So king cannot even capture bishop because bishop is supported by the rook. That's how white lost queen. White sacrificed her queen in order to win. Thank you. White trap 3. It starts like this: e4. For that, black moves d5. White goes for e into d5. Then black captures the pawn using queen q into d5. For that, white moves n c3, attacking the queen. Queen moves e5, you check. For that, white chooses qe2. Instead of going for exchange, black chooses to get the queen back, that is qd6. For that, white moves and e4 to threaten the queen. Now already white is trying to gain the position, so black feels taking the queen out will be a threat. Maybe queen will be trapped somewhere in the middle of white army. So black chooses to take the queen back, that is qd8. White goes for c3 so that it can push this pawn and end up in a pawn chain. For that, black moves e5 to control the center squares. White goes for d4. If black goes for e into d4, then this trap will work. This is the beauty of this trap. See, and f6, double check. Double check in the sense, king is receiving check not only from the knight but also from the queen. And now king cannot move here because knight is controlling the square d7. King cannot move down, that is king cannot move e7 because queen is there. And in this square e8, it is attacked both by queen as well as by knight. So this is end of the game. Thank you. White fifth trap under king's pawn opening. e4, e5, nf3 to threaten the e5 pawn. So black supports the e4 pawn using d6. Just to deal with this pawn, e5, white moves d4. To protect it, to protect the e5 pawn, black moves f6. This is a very powerful combination. This pawn chain, if not broken, it can lead to a big defense for black. So white chooses to break it down. D into e5. If black opens this pawn, then there's an opportunity for queen exchange. But black doesn't do that. It goes for f into e5. White moves bishop g5, threatening the queen. There are a lot of other variations for this, maybe like this, if not this move. But if black however moves q d7, then we can continue. White moves bishop c4. If black moves d5, then b into d5 to threaten the bishop. c6. But instead of moving the bishop to somewhere else, white chooses n into e5 to threaten the queen. For safety, queen moves q c7. White moves bishop f7 plus. So here king cannot move because bishop is there. Here king cannot move because knight is there. Here bishop is there. If king captures bishop, then knight into king. So it's an illegal move. So the only move left is queen into bishop. For that, an easy move, knight into queen. King into knight, but white queen enter the campus. Now all these things are free food. If black chooses to move, let's say h6, queen into bishop, h into b g5, queen into b7, check. For that, the best possible move can be knight e7, if not bishop e7. In this case, black chooses to move knight e7, q into rook, and d7. Queen into a7. So see here, white has 3 plus 3, 6, 6 plus 3, 9, 9 plus 5, 14, 15, 16, 17, 17 points. Whereas white has 5 plus 5, 10, 10 plus 3, 13, 13 plus 3, 16, 16 plus 3, 19, 19 plus 9, 28. So white is having a better advantage. Thank you. White trap 6 under king's pawn opening. e4, e5, and f3 to attack e5 pawn, supported by n c6, bishop c4, bishop c5, c3 and f6, d4, bishop b6. See, this bishop is threatened by this pawn, so it takes back to b6. D into e5, L into e4, q d5. See, if black does any other move, let's say some other move, maybe this move, the next move is check and mate, queen into f7 plus, because if king attacks the queen, then bishop is supporting the queen and king doesn't have any square to go. To prevent this, black goes for castling on the king's side. Queen into knight, d6 to capture this pawn and have open file for queen. Bishop d3. If black moves any other move, let's say this move or this move, white is queen into h7 mate. So black moves g6. For that, white moves bishop h6, attacking the rook. So black moves to rook e8. See, it's a beautiful position. Let's say white moves some move. Okay, for that, black moves this, knight into e5, knight into knight, rook into knight. Now this queen is pinned. If it moves anywhere, there is a direct attack from rook to king. So if you make any move, then rook into queen, white loses the queen. To prevent that, after rook moves e8 in black, white goes for castling to prevent losing the queen, so that black can't pin the queen in e5. After castling, black moves d into e5. White moves n g5. To threaten this knight, black moves f6. For that, white moves bishop c4 check. There is nothing to keep in between bishop and white bishop and black king. So the only move is to move king to the h8. For that, white moves knight f7, fork between king and queen. So forcefully, king can move here because bishop is there, so it moves here. Knight into queen, there is a check open from bishop. So it can't move here because bishop is there. It can't move here because this bishop is there, so it moves to the corner, h8. Again, knight f7 check. No other go, king moves to g8. Again check and d6. See, check from bishop. So no other go. It moves back to h8. King moves back to h8. So knight into rook. Then black moves bishop d7 to attack the knight. What? Black moves bishop g7. It is checkmate. King cannot move here because bishop is there. King cannot stay here because bishop is attacking. King cannot attack the bishop because knight is supporting. Thank you.